There is a particular sort of horticultural disappointment that comes from a pineapple plant. You may have started it from the top of a shop-bought fruit, a fun and thrifty project. For months, even years, you have tended to it. It has grown a magnificent rosette of sharp, architectural leaves. It looks healthy, vigorous, and quite handsome in its pot. Yet, it stubbornly refuses to produce the one thing you are waiting for: a pineapple. This is a common story I hear from many gardeners. They see plenty of green growth, a sign of life, but no hint of a flower stalk, let alone a fruit. It can feel as though the plant has forgotten its primary purpose. The reason for this leafy abundance, more often than not, lies in what we are giving the plant. We see green leaves and assume the plant is happy and wants more of whatever we are providing. Usually this means a feed rich in nitrogen. Nitrogen is wonderful for promoting lush green foliage. It is the engine of leafy growth in almost all plants. So, when your pineapple puts on more and more leaves, it is simply responding to the signals it is receiving. It believes its job is to get bigger and greener, not to enter the next phase of its life, which is to flower and produce a fruit for you to enjoy. Another critical factor that we must respect is the plant's own timeline. Pineapples are not in a hurry. A plant grown from a top can take a good 2, sometimes even 3, years to reach maturity. Before it is ready, no amount of coaxing will persuade it to fruit. It is building up the energy reserves and the physical size needed to support the development of a large, sweet pineapple. Patience, that most essential of gardening virtues, is paramount here. Trying to force a young, immature plant into flower is a fruitless endeavor in every sense of the word. We must learn to read the plant and wait for it to be strong enough for the task ahead. So, the mystery of the fruitless pineapple is often a combination of two things: our own impatience and our kindness. We are too kind with our feeding, giving it too much of the wrong thing, and we are too impatient, expecting a fruit before the plant is properly grown up. Understanding these two simple points is the very first step towards unlocking the secret to a successful harvest. It is not that your plant is broken or unwilling, it is simply following the instructions it has been given by its environment and its own internal clock. Our job is to change those instructions. Now, let's get to the heart of how a pineapple plant actually works. It is crucial to understand a fundamental rule. A single pineapple plant will typically produce just one main fruit in its lifetime. The central growing point will transform into a flower stalk, which then develops into that single, glorious pineapple. Once that fruit is harvested, the main plant itself will not produce another from its center. This might sound rather disappointing if you are dreaming of a continuous supply, but nature has a wonderfully clever plan to ensure the plant's legacy, and it is this plan that we can use to our advantage. The real secret to multiplying your yield lies not with the parent plant, but with its children. As the main plant grows, and especially as it begins to fruit, it will start to produce offshoots. You might see small plantlets, called suckers, appearing from the base of the plant, nestled between the lower leaves. Sometimes you may also find little slips growing from the stalk just below the fruit itself. These are not just extra leaves, they are complete new pineapple plants in the making. Each one of these suckers has the potential to grow into a full-sized plant and produce its own pineapple. This is how you can transform one plant into many. Instead of one pineapple every 2 years, you can create a production line. A healthy, well-tended parent plant might produce 3, 4, or even 5 suckers. If you pot up each of these, you have instantly multiplied your potential harvest by 5. These suckers also have a significant advantage over a plant grown from a fruit top. Because they have started their life attached to a mature parent, they reach fruiting size much more quickly, often in as little as 12 to 18 months. This is the key to moving from a single novelty fruit to a reliable and repeating harvest. Therefore, your goal shifts. It is not just about nurturing one plant for one fruit. It is about nurturing one plant to become a mother to many more. The health of the parent plant directly influences the number and vigor of the suckers it produces. By caring for your original plant, you are investing in the next generation and the generation after that. This simple understanding of the pineapple's life cycle is what separates the grower of a single pineapple from the gardener who enjoys a steady, rolling supply of these exotic, homegrown treats. It is a simple but powerful piece of knowledge. Waiting for a mature pineapple plant to decide to flower on its own can be a long game. Fortunately, we can give it a gentle and entirely natural nudge. The trigger for flowering in pineapples and other bromeliads is a gas called ethylene. You might be surprised to learn that this gas is produced naturally by ripening fruit. We can use this to our advantage to trick our reluctant pineapple plant into thinking it is time to get on with producing the next generation. It is a simple, effective, and rather satisfying process that any home gardener can do with ease. Here is the method, step by step. First, you will need a ripe apple, a banana, or even a few apple cores. Ripe apples are particularly good ethylene producers. Take your chosen fruit and place it near the center of the pineapple plant, right down in the rosette of leaves. The idea is to concentrate the ethylene gas where the new flower stalk will emerge. Some people like to slice the apple to release the gas more quickly, which is a perfectly good technique. Do not worry about it rotting. It is only a temporary measure for the plant's benefit. Next, you need to trap the gas. Take a large, clear, plastic bag. Something like a dry cleaning bag or a large bin liner will do the job perfectly. Place the bag over the entire plant, pot and all, and secure it loosely around the base of the pot. This creates a small, enclosed atmosphere, allowing the ethylene gas released from the ripe fruit to build up around the pineapple plant. Leave the plant like this for about a week to 10 days. Make sure to move the plant out of direct, strong sunlight during this time, as the bag can act like a greenhouse and scorch the leaves on a hot day. After the week is up, you can remove the bag and the fruit. Now all you have to do is wait. Within about 6 to 8 weeks, if the plant is mature and the process has been successful, you should see the first signs of magic. Deep in the center of the plant, the leaves will begin to show a reddish blush, and soon after, a small knobbly flower head will start to push its way up. This is the beginning of your pineapple. This simple trick is a game changer, putting you in control of the timeline and turning your leafy ornament into a productive fruiting plant. Once you see that beautiful red blush and the emerging flower stalk, your feeding regime must change completely. The plant's needs have shifted dramatically. It no longer requires high levels of nitrogen to produce more leaves. In fact, continuing with a nitrogen-rich feed now would be counterproductive, encouraging leafy growth at the expense of the developing fruit. The plant is now entering its reproductive phase, and its nutritional focus is on building a strong flower stalk and a large, sweet, and juicy fruit. This requires a different set of nutrients altogether. The two key players now are potassium and phosphorus. Potassium, often marked with the letter K on fertilizer labels, is vital for fruit development, sugar production, and overall plant health and disease resistance. It helps the plant move energy and sugars from the leaves to the growing fruit, which is exactly what you want. Phosphorus, or P, is essential for strong root development and for the process of flowering and fruiting itself. You need to switch to a feed that is low in nitrogen but high in potassium and phosphorus. You do not need to rely on synthetic chemical fertilizers to achieve this. There are wonderful natural options available to every gardener. A liquid feed made from comfrey leaves is absolutely perfect for this stage, as it is naturally rich in potassium. Simply steep comfrey leaves in a bucket of water for a few weeks to create a potent, dark liquid. Dilute this comfrey tea until it is the color of weak tea and water your pineapple with it every 2 weeks. Another excellent choice is a liquid seaweed fertilizer, which is also high in potassium and contains a wealth of trace elements that support healthy fruit growth. During this fruiting period, which can last for several months, consistency is key. Continue with your low nitrogen, high potassium feeding every couple of weeks. This will ensure the plant has a steady supply of the right building blocks to swell the fruit and fill it with sugars. Think of it as changing the plant's diet from one designed for bodybuilding to one designed for nurturing a baby. By providing the correct nutrition at this critical time, you are directly influencing the size and, most importantly, the flavor of your homegrown pineapple. While forcing your pineapple to flower and feeding it correctly are crucial steps, they are only part of the story. To grow a truly magnificent fruit, you must also provide the right environment. Pineapples are tropical plants, and they crave conditions that mimic their native habitat. The single most important element they need is sunlight. A pineapple plant needs at least 6 to 8 hours of direct, bright sunlight every single day to have enough energy to produce a large, sweet fruit. A plant languishing in a shady corner may survive, but it will never thrive or produce a fruit of any decent size. The location of your plant is therefore paramount. If you are growing it in a pot, which most of us in cooler climates will be, you have the advantage of being able to move it. Find the sunniest spot in your garden, on your patio, or on a balcony. A south-facing position is ideal. During the summer months, your pineapple will be perfectly happy outdoors. As the fruit develops, that solar energy is converted directly into the sugars that give a pineapple its delicious flavor. A sun-starved pineapple will be small, pale, and disappointingly sour. Give it all the sun you possibly can. Warmth is the close companion of sunlight. Pineapples despise the cold and will stop growing when temperatures drop. They are happiest in a range between 20 and 30 degrees Celsius, or 68 to 86 degrees Fahrenheit. This is why growing them outdoors in the summer is so effective. However, you must be ready to bring them inside before the first frosts. A conservatory, a greenhouse, or even a very sunny windowsill indoors is a perfect winter home. Protecting the plant from cold snaps is non-negotiable, as a sudden chill can halt fruit development entirely or damage the plant beyond recovery. Finally, do not underestimate the importance of space, both above and below the soil. The impressive rosette of leaves can easily spread to a meter wide, so ensure it is not crowded by other plants. More importantly, give the roots room to grow. A common mistake is keeping a pineapple in the same small pot for years. A mature, fruiting pineapple needs a pot that is at least 30 to 40 centimeters in diameter, or about 12 to 16 inches. This provides stability for the top-heavy plant, and gives the root system enough volume to seek out the water and nutrients it needs to support that big, heavy fruit. The final glorious moment approaches: the harvest. Knowing exactly when to pick your pineapple is key to enjoying it at its peak flavor. A shop-bought pineapple is often picked underripe and green, but you have the luxury of waiting for perfection. The first sign is a change in color. The green skin of the fruit will begin to turn a golden yellow, starting from the base and working its way up. You do not have to wait for the entire fruit to be yellow. Once the bottom third or half has changed color, it is a very good sign that the sugars are developing nicely. Another reliable indicator is the aroma. Get close to the base of the fruit and have a good sniff. A ripe pineapple will emit that unmistakable, sweet, tropical fragrance. If it still smells green and leafy, give it more time. A gentle tap on the side of the fruit can also be revealing. A ripe fruit will have a dull, solid sound, whereas an unripe one may sound more hollow. Once these signs align, the color change, the sweet smell, and the solid sound, it is time. Use a sharp knife to cut the fruit from its stalk, leaving a small piece of the stalk attached. Your work is not done once the fruit is picked. Now is the time to think about the future and multiply your stock. Look carefully at the parent plant. You should see the suckers we talked about earlier, growing from the base. Allow these to grow on the parent plant until they are a decent size, perhaps about a third of the size of the main plant. Once they are big enough, you can carefully remove them. Gently pull and twist them away from the parent plant. They should detach with a firm tug. Sometimes, they may even have a few small roots of their own already starting to form. Pot each sucker into its own container filled with a gritty, free-draining compost mix. Water them in and place them in a warm, bright spot. These new plants will establish themselves quickly and, as we know, will reach maturity much faster than a plant grown from a top. You can also, of course, twist the leafy top off your freshly harvested pineapple, let it dry for a few days, and plant that too. In one fell swoop, you have harvested a delicious fruit and created several new plants, setting yourself up for an even bigger harvest next time. This is the true joy of pineapple growing, a cycle of reward and renewal.